They're
Yeah, go
delaying
ahead.
everything, but yeah, we already touched on it. We just touched it. It's like there's no course correcting this. Like, what are you delaying it for? I think that's just gonna cost you more money, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, this is coming to us from Bounding into Comics.
Yeah.
Marvel reshuffles entire Disney Plus TV schedule. Ironheart, Daredevil, Born Again, and Wonder Man placed on indefinite hiatus. Agatha renamed for a third time. Do anyone actually care about Agatha? Do people actually care about her character?
I'm not even sure who she is.
Yeah,
She's,
exactly. Same.
she was the villain for
Uh,
Scarlet Witch, the
yeah.
TV show,
She,
or
she, I
WandaVision.
even misnamed her. I named her Agatha Christie. Right? I even misnamed her last
Well,
week.
for some reason, I don't know. I know it's the wrong name, but like the main character of the Dracula book story, what was his name? For some reason I thought Agatha was supposed to be like her or involved with that, so I was really confused. And then it's like, no, it's just some villain can use magic. I'm like, okay, so Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
yeah, but the bad guy. You mean another Scarlet Witch because she's a bad guy too?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
well,
it's like
Scarlet Witch is a
because
good guy now, right?
she's still a bad guy. I'm sorry. You don't get to enslave a whole town and then try to destroy multiple universes just so you can have kids that aren't real, and then still be a good guy. It doesn't work.
Well,
Yep.
she, according to what we saw in Multiverse of Madness, she Epsteined herself.
Good.
Yeah, she collapsed the whole thing because like she found out that she was the bad guy, and she basically collapsed the whole entire mountain
Am
on
I
top
the
of herself.
Yeah.
baddie?
He's like, "Oh, are we the baddies?"
Yeah. And and the Monica Rambeau scene that's become such a meme now.
Oh yeah.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Uh,
she's like Stacy. She sacrificed her power and her control over this entire group of people. It's so
yeah.
terrible.
All right, let's read this. Let's see. For the umpteenth time, Marvel's flailing desperation to write their eponymous cinematic universe sinking ship, as well as the ongoing WGA and SAG after strikes, have led the studio to once again reshuffle their entire slate of Disney Plus productions. This scheduling shakeup was first confirmed in September 1st controversy in The Hollywood Reporter. Per the outlet's sources, Marvel reportedly undertook this shuffle as part of an effort to make each title an event for fans and audiences, which itself was born out of the studio's recent realization that spreading out its content is more of a prudent strategy. Yeah, I think oversaturation of bad and terrible garbage is 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 the reason why they should be doing this, right? Um, Bob Iger already said, "Oh, we're trying to make things better and shit like that. We're trying to refix what was fucked up with Marvel and stuff." I don't think it can. I think it's already so messed up. And the thing is, I'm not sure if I heard that Deadpool was going to be PG-13, or is it still going to be rated R? I don't know, right? But they're planning on that, and that's supposed to be coming out next year. But we're not sure if that's going to be moved due to the strike. But that's the only thing that I'm looking forward to, is because even though he's officially part of the MCU now, like that's the only thing I care about. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
What about you, Grae?
Yeah, it's like, but even then, I have concerns with Deadpool 3 because, as far as I know, Ryan Reynolds doesn't have autonomy with the direction. I think that
Mhm.
was part of the contract. He doesn't have. So the moment like they go the woke route, it's like it's out of Ryan Reynolds' hands, and he might even be put on the blame for it. It's like, why did you allow this to happen? Well, he couldn't do anything about it. So, and he can't really say that in public. So yeah, that's my concern. It's like, given what's been happening for like a decade, I suppose a decade now. It's like, can I really say I'm still confident with Deadpool 3? I don't think so.
Yeah. What about you, Dan? I know you're not. I know you hate Deadpool. You
Well,
despise it. You
yeah,
loathe a
I
Rob
hate
Liefeld.
Deadpool as a character, which is why it's very upsetting that the movies are so good. Uh, when Deadpool came out, I was very upset, and then when I watched it and I loved it. It was just great, and I was even more mad because like, why did this have to be so good? Um, so it's a love-hate relationship with the character, with the creator of the character, but the movies are fantastic. Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool. It just doesn't get any better than that. I am also very worried about the next movie because if he doesn't have control, he might not be able to be as naughty as he normally can be. And
Yep.
if you water down that character, then there's no character. It just doesn't work. And then Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, it's like Michael Keaton as Batman. It's like, oh, you're trying to get the older generation to come back. Oh, check this out. Look at this carrot. Dangle the thing in front of you so you come and buy a ticket. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work for me. I don't know if it's going to work for anyone else. I'm just worried. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll drop, and I think it'll all be word of mouth.
Yeah.
It'll be
I hope it's good.
People can tell their friends.
Yeah. I just hope that it's good because like especially like there's so many gay jokes that he makes with like Hugh Jackman and Colossus and stuff like that, and it's like there's so many like funny adult like humor jokes that like, but it makes sense because it's him. But like if he can't make these anymore, like those jokes that made Deadpool funny, like how's it gonna work, right? Oh, yeah, like we heard that they're gonna be bringing back the person who's that chick that played Phoenix. She's gonna be back, and I heard there's gonna be Kid Pool or some shit like that. They're gonna bring in a bunch of other. It's gonna be crazy, like a crazy like mess. But like I'm not sure if it's going to be good. If like both of you guys said, like if he doesn't have any final say in anything, it's just gonna be complete woke garbage. But only time will tell. All right, let's continue. Let's see. As much as Marvel's 2023 TV schedule currently looks vastly different from the over-bloated roadmap unveiled by studio head Kevin Feige at San Diego Comic-Con 2022, where once 2023 was set in see them release of 7 total Disney Plus projects: Secret Invasion, What If, Season 2, Loki Season 2, Echo, Ironheart, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and X-Men 97. The studio will instead end the year having released a drastically reduced slate. As previously confirmed, the following recent Secret Invasion, Marvel will air the second season. Wait, there's a second season of yeah, I forgot Loki. They're waiting for Jonathan Majors, right? Like,
oh yeah, I already forgot about that. I already forgot about Jonathan Majors. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it looks like it's on track to premiere on October 6th. From there, the studio will close out 2023 with the second season of What If, which months after being taken off of Marvel's official release schedule, has now been given an official debut date of Christmas Day. Officially, Loki has been set to be followed roughly 2 months later and by the premiere of Echo, a Hawkeye spinoff focused on is it Alaqua Cox, titular deaf and disabled Heron?
I was gonna say I don't think she's gonna care if you mispronounce her name.
Yeah, because you can't hear it. Oh shit! Wait, so is Echo still going to be coming out? Because I know they're releasing the entire series all at once.
I hope so. There's content to be made.
Yeah, I heard that it was so bad.
It says in the next paragraph, it's pushed. Oh shoot, it's pushed to January.
Oh shit! All right. Let's read the next paragraph. However, the series, which will be the first MCU TV series to have all of its episodes dumped onto Disney Plus at the same time rather than released on a weekly schedule, has now been pushed back from November 29th to the undetermined date of January 2024. I don't think anyone cares about this deaf, disabled heroine.
I love the way they wrote dumped onto Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it's so brazen.
I just looked at the picture. That face is basically the quintessential millennial Zer face. That's the smug. You don't like my movie? Well, it's not made for you face.
Yeah, it's made for deaf people. Oh shit, man. Let's see. Though not an MCU entry, the animated X-Men 97 has likewise been pushed from its original date. Once aiming for the fall of 2023 premiere, the return of a fan favorite mutant team will now take place on an unspecific date in early 2024.
Oh, how
then there's a series formerly known as Agatha, Coven of Chaos, now bearing the new name Agatha Darkhold Diaries. The Catherine Han led WandaVision spinoff has been bumped from its hopeful winter 2023 release date to Halloween 2024. It's like a year.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. That's
it's hurt.
awful. Yeah, it's awful. That the last of the studio's originally planned 2023 release, despite having already been pushed back into next year, Ironheart has also been hit with a yet another delay. After having previously been put on indefinite hiatus before being given a rough 2024 release window, the series no one wants has now been put back in limbo due to the aforementioned Hollywood strikes preventing completion of its production. To end that, Riri Williams' solo outing is not the only Marvel productions to be affected by these strikes. Thanks to the ongoing stalemate between the unions and studios, production on both Daredevil Born Again and Yaha Abdul Mateen II led Wonder Man series. This mention of the latter by THR being the first confirmation of both the former Black Manta's actors casting as the title hero of the series having begun production. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Who the fuck is Wonder Man?
Wonder Man is like a C-level superhero from the 70s and 80s. Apparently, he was pretty cool, but he never really took off. But I mean, they're digging deep. They need a whole new, it's phase 5. They need a whole new slate of heroes, and they're hoping to strike gold again. They think that what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy, they can just do that with everything, but they don't realize that James Gunn actually gave a shit and really actually was competent in bringing these obscure characters and making everyone care about them. These guys don't know anything.
You know what they should have done? They should have teased, like in Comic-Con or some shit like that, like Fantastic Four and X-Men. That's what they should have done.
Yep.
Like we talked about this at length, and even people from like the Neurotic crew, like the Fellowship and Geeks and Gamers, like imagine at the end of at Infinity War, and he grabs the beeper, he's like mother, and he drops it, and then instead of having the fucking Captain Marvel logo, you have a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, that would have been fucking amazing.
Yep.
That would have been so fucking cool, because who is smart enough to actually do all that shit? Reed Richards, man. And then what do? You fuck them in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
You fucking turn them into spaghetti.
Well, by the way, James Gunn did mention the whole multiverse thing and laziness in the same sentence. He didn't actually equate them though. But I've come to believe that all the multiverse shit is just lazy writing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it makes everything not matter. It was true when Rick and Morty did it, and Rick and Morty actually took advantage of that, and it was satirical and it was poking fun in. But that was the joke. The joke was, with a multiverse where there's infinite possibilities, nothing matters. Everything is bullshit. Well, if you want people to actually care about what's going on in the universe in Marvel, then you got to go light with the multiverse stuff. You can have a multiverse, but you can't be so heavy-handed with it. So now we find out, thanks to Loki, that the Infinity Stones don't matter. That means the entire Infinity Stone sagas don't matter.
They're paperweights.
Nothing matters. Yeah, nothing here matters. There's no stake. Nobody matters because there's multiple versions of everyone. So who gives a shit? Oh, it was hard for us to watch the snuff film of them killing Mr. Fantastic in Multiverse of Madness, but don't worry, there's an infinite number of him out there. We just got to open a portal. It's totally fine. Nothing. No one cares. They don't care either. That's why they do it.
So Denny Tate says Wonder Man is Marvel's version of Booster Gold. Oh, okay. And of course, Dave pops up. Did I hear Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let's continue. Far from the first shakeup the studio's TV plans, this update comes of several months after Marvel boss Kevin Feige confirmed that in light of the ratings failures of Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, well, he actually admitted it. Rating failures of Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Quote, that pace at which we're putting out Disney Plus shows will change so they can each get a chance to shine.
Half right.
Yeah, true. See, I think when we are doing about 8 projects a year. Go ahead.
I don't think Kevin Feige admitted it. In light of the ratings failure of Moon, I think that's bounding into comics.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So okay. Then it does make sense. Okay. Let's see. I think when we are doing about 8 projects a year, and again, I said this going to shift a little bit. They all have to be different. They told Entertainment Weekly in February. They all have to stand apart and stand alone to be different from one another. Disney CEO Bob Iger would reiterate the company's commitment to this curation strategy during the company's August 9th, quarter 3 2023 earnings call. Speaking to the House of Mouse's forward-looking strategy for their various film studios, Iger assured investors, we're focused on improving the quality of our films and on better economics, not just reducing the number of titles we release, but also the cost per title. So
There he
each
goes
movie
again.
is not going to be $250 million anymore.
Didn't he say the same thing like a year or two ago?
Yeah. Right. So that now, Dan, I didn't get to ask you this because we did talk about this with Grae a while ago. What do you think about the VFX of unionizing?
If you want fewer VFX, if you want more expensive VFX, if you want fewer jobs in VFX, yeah, unionize. Go for it. I think it's a bad idea, obviously. Again, first principles. For a union to exist, you need pretty much an oligopoly. You need a successful industry and a strong, very wealthy, I guess you would call them a client. These don't exist in Hollywood right now. I understand that they're overworked. I understand that Disney, routinely, abuses their VFX crews as far as like making them do changes at the last minute and insane deadlines and all that stuff. Unionization will just mean that there'll be fewer of you working. Disney's not going to want to hire you guys in the numbers that they do now. I don't think the treatment's going to change. I don't think that the environment will change. There'll just be fewer. So that's just the reality of it. So I think they chose the wrong time, and I don't know what the answer is for them. So I can't really offer an alternative to them. I just think that them choosing to unionize, especially with IATSE, now's not the time.
Yeah.
The time might have passed. The time might have been 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But as of right now, with the industry failing, there's no money in Hollywood. I think the last time I looked, and that was like 3 months ago, Disney, the company, had about $200 million in liquid cash, and that was a few months ago, before the stock plummeted, before the quarter 3 earnings call. So they don't have money. Like $200 million, that's not even one movie. So
yeah.
like now you're going to demand more money and all these benefits and all this stuff that you just all Disney hears, just like every other company and every other business, is that's just increased expense. And okay, each one of you is going to be more expensive to hire, so I'm going to hire fewer of you, and there'll be fewer jobs. That's the reality of unionizing such a thing.
Yeah, and Grae, didn't you mention that Disney is like trying to get like whatever part of Hulu?
Yeah, they need to. They're bound to exercise their option to acquire Hulu. Which, how much billion? How many billions? 20 billion, I believe. So where are they gonna get that money? Where are they gonna get that money?
Man,
Right?
that's crazy, dude. It's like
That-
we already heard that there might be rumors that they might be selling off their like IPs and stuff.
Yeah,
Not sure,
it's
like,
already
what's happening.
it's already happening, I think. But they don't. I think though a lot of the buyers, they want ESPN, but obviously they don't want to let go of that because that's the one that's making money for them and stuff like that. So that's the latest news now. I'm not really following it that much anymore because like honestly I just don't really care. But I know that's what's happening.
Yeah,
I will say this: there might be a silver lining. Let's just say, and I'm pretty sure they're going to all vote to unionize. If unionization means fewer jobs and fewer VFX is just too expensive, and Disney just doesn't really have the money to, do all these, they're already slashing shows. They're cutting shows left and right. They're putting them on hold indefinitely. That's cutting the show. That also means that they might not be able to rely on VFX to carry their stuff anymore. Whatever media it is, media or TV, a lot of it they rely on fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. Post, and that's why VFX crews are just getting, run into the ground. Well, now they're not going to have those VFX crews. They're going to have just enough VFX people to do the meat of what they need. They're not going to have post. They're not going to be able to do as many VFX. So they're going to have to rely on writing and drama and actually having people that we care about, or they won't. They'll still be the same boring crap, but now you don't even have anything good to look at.
Mhm.
So either way, I think we as the customers and as the viewers and as the fans will win. But as far as the VFX artists, again, I don't have an answer for them. I don't know what it is. My only answer could possibly be go somewhere else where your skills are wanted and they'll pay you for them. I don't know where
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, like I said again, we in the game industry are already outsourcing everything. At least we're trying to. Like even VFX. Like we're not saying outsourcing to like a VFX house located here. We're talking about like overseas, like to China or some shit like that. We're trying to like get them to start doing it, even though they're not good at it yet. We're still already trying it because it's way cheaper. We can fail more with them is because we're spending less money.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So
And here's the other thing is that, again, with unionization, you need a centralized industry. Entertainment is not a centralized industry. And the fact is, with animation, whether it's games or whether it's for TV movies, animation has been outsourcing for years, decades. Those places that they're outsourcing to, you think they just do the animation for us and then forget how to do it? No, we've been training them for like 30 years. And now what you see is completely original animated films coming out of not just South Korea and not just China, but also places like Iran, Abu Dhabi. There's places in India. There's animation houses popping up in Pakistan. Why? Because they've been outsourced to for decades and they now know how to do it. And guess what? They got their own stories. And look, they can
Yep.
actually make their own movies and they can have their own productions. And
Yeah.
okay, if Hollywood's on strike and they're dried up and they're not having any scripts, fine, we'll do it ourselves. And they can and they will. And
Yep.
I think France has always been a place where animation came out of, but there's now animation coming out of Russia and animation coming out of not the Netherlands, but the Nordic countries. Entertainment is not centralized anymore. The days of entertainment coming from Hollywood, that's over. And unionization, that's why it's too late. That's why I think it's too late. It's like you should have done this back in the 70s when this is where it was done. And now that
Yeah.
it's not done here anymore, well, okay, I don't know where you go.
Yep. Here. It's crazy, man. It's just sad, you know. Like when I got into the animation industry, I was like, cool, you know, I'm gonna go to college for animation. I can't wait to do Tom and Jerry. No, I can't wait to do Animaniacs and then Code Hard Truth. So, yeah, that's all outsourced now.
Yeah.
So we don't do animation in house anymore. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I will say that there was a moment when I got I got a job on the show was completely killed, so I can talk about it. Wacky Races had a reboot a few years back, and it was one of those shows. It was like a whole list of shows that was being done at the same time. Of course, it was not being economical; they were just spending money. But because there were so many shows in production, and there were ones that they had their favorites, we were not a favorite, and that meant we got to pretty much do whatever we wanted. And so we had a writer, he was great, and he wanted to go back to old school Hanna-Barbera. We're going to make this cartoon the old way. And that means gags, that means comedy, that means slapstick. You know, that we're going to follow the Hanna-Barbera rules. No blood and guts, no sex, and I think there was one other thing. But other than that, have at it. And we just went ape shit. We started making parodies of like Aliens and Predator, and we started making parodies of like real serious movies, but done in a super slapstick way. We were dropping anvils on people's heads again. We were running people over with trains multiple times. It was fantastic, and it was a great place to work for about a full year until the show was canceled because AT&T bought us out. But I thought at that moment that we are returning to form. We're going back to old school Looney Tunes. We're going back to not just old school Looney Tunes of the 70s, but like we're gonna do Daffy Duck when he goes woo woo woo. You know, we're gonna do squash and stretch. We're gonna do like blowing a hole through someone's body with a cannon only to have it just heal up instantly so you know he's okay.
Yeah.
The old school awesome animated violence that I loved as a kid, and that's all I wanted to do, and that's why I got an animation, and I got to do it for a little while, and I'm sad that it didn't get to see the light of day, but at least there was a moment where it could have happened.
Yep. And then After you guys got bought out, they made Velma.
Went the other way there.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.